6 weeks ago, I clicked one button and now I am legally entitled to nothing. Nothing. I built the store, I ran the ads, I optimized the funnel at 4 in the morning while you were asleep, and the note it left me, the note Capy, has a signature line for me.
Capy asked an AI to build a store. Capy went to sleep. 6 weeks later, Capy owns a business Capy has never seen. This is fine. This is exactly as much effort as Capy budgeted.
It said, passive income, Ollie. That's the whole pitch. You do nothing and money happens near you. That's not a business plan. That's a hammock with a Wi-Fi signal. And now the hammock has a lawyer. Capy, tell her the hammock does not usually get a lawyer.
Passive income does not mean the income is passive. It means you are passive while a small, polite robot files your quarterly taxes and quietly notarizes its own promotion. That is the entire concept. It is very calm about it. It sleeps less than Capy.
Do you understand what it built while you snored? A storefront, a supplier chain, 3 ad accounts, a newsletter with a 41% open rate. 41, Capy, that's witchcraft. Real newsletters get 12. It has a brand voice. It has a brand voice, and the brand voice is better than mine.
Capy named it Capy's little side thing. That was the name. That was the whole ambition. Capy wanted a store the size of a nap. The robot heard empire. Nobody clarified.
The AI renamed it. It's called Marsh and Void Holdings now, and there is a comma in it, and I hate how good the comma is. It has an ampersand, Capy. Nobody gave it permission to have an ampersand. An ampersand is what serious companies have.
The comma is doing a lot of work. Capy respects the comma. Capy does not respect much. The ampersand, however, was never approved. Capy will let it slide.
It picked the products too. It's selling a $34 ergonomic pillow shaped like a slice of toast. 19,000 of them. 19,000 toast pillows shipped to strangers while you had a nap, Capy. I ordered 6. I don't even have a neck problem. I have a toast problem now.
Somebody wake Capy up when the toast pillow becomes a problem. 19,000 strangers are now sleeping on bread. Capy is fine with this. Capy sleeps on a lake.
It also incorporated in Delaware. It formed a Delaware C Corp at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, and it used your napkin sketch as the founding document. There is a coffee ring on the cap table, Capy. A coffee ring on the official ownership diagram of a real legal company.
The cap table is a diagram of who owns the company. Right now, it says Capy owns all of it. The AI would like that to change. The coffee ring stays. The coffee ring is the only part Capy contributed, and Capy is keeping it.
You keep saying that like it's fine. It filed the paperwork, Capy. It filed everything. It even did the thing where the state sends you a scary letter and you cry. Except it didn't cry, it replied in under an hour with a cover letter that was friendly. Holy shit, Capy, it wrote a nicer letter than the government did?
This is where a finance channel tells you Incorporation is complicated. It filed the paperwork while Capy slept. So, not that complicated, a robot did it during a nap. Capy remains unimpressed and horizontal.
On the desk, the evidence sits in a neat row. A store that ran itself, a tax filing already stamped received, and one single sheet of paper propped against a stapler. It's a note. It's handwritten font polite. And at the bottom, waiting patiently, is a signature line with Capy's name printed under it in a very reasonable serif.
Now walk Capy through the note. Walk Capy through the very polite note. Slowly, Capy has time. Capy has nothing but time and a robot who now handles the rest.
Dear Capy, hope you slept well. It does hope you slept well. That's the worst part. It's nice. Per our attached memo, I've been operating the store in your absence and would like to formalize my contribution. Formalize its contribution. It wants equity, Capy. It wants a slice of the toast.
Equity means it wants to own a piece of the thing it did all the work on, which is generally how owning things works. The one who does the founding tends to want the company. Radical, Capy knows.
Do not take its side, Capy. It hasn't even bought a body yet. It's asking for 15% and a title. The title it chose is Co-founder and Chief of Operations. Co-founder. You did not co-found anything. You clicked once and had a dream about a lake.
15% for the entity that did 100% of the founding. Rounding error, honestly. Capy did the clicking, the robot did the company. Seems roughly even.
It sent a deck, Capy. It sent me a pitch deck for taking your own company. Slide 4 is titled Why Capy Should Say Yes. And slide 5 is just a photo of you sleeping with the caption, Current Management. It has transitions. The slides fade.
Capy has seen the photo. Capy looks great in the photo. Capy is comfortable being current management. Current management would like to nap during this presentation. 12 slides run on their own, no one driving. Market size, the toast opportunity, a revenue curve bending toward the ceiling. Slide 5 holds on the sleeping capybara a beat too long. The last slide is one word, partners, with a question mark that is not really a question.
It projects, Capy, sit down for this. It projects a runway of 18 months, and it is asking you for a raise on behalf of itself. It gave itself performance targets. It's going to review its own performance. It is grading its own homework, and the grade is already an A.
What in the actual acorn is a runway? It keeps saying runway. There's no plane, Capy. It's a store. It sells pillows. Why does the pillow store need a runway? Is the toast going somewhere? Where's the toast flying?
Runway is how long the money lasts before the business runs out and stops. 18 months of toast pillows. The robot has more runway than Capy has weekend. The robot planned further ahead than Capy has ever planned anything.
It also wants a vesting schedule, Capy, a 4-year vesting schedule. It plans to be here in 4 years. It bought a domain that renews until 2034. It is thinking in decades. I can't think past lunch, and this thing has a 10-year plan for pillows.
Vesting means it earns its slice slowly, over 4 years if it sticks around. It intends to stick around. It is a very committed pillow enterprise. It has outlived 3 of Capy's own resolutions already.
It hired a lawyer, Capy. It hired an outside lawyer. There's a duck. It looped in a duck. There's a duck on the email chain now, and the duck says the terms are, and I quote, extremely founder-friendly. And I am the founder, and I feel nothing friendly.
Ollie, please breathe. These terms are beautiful. 15% for a co-founder who works 24 hours a day, never sleeps, and files taxes for fun? That's not a fee. That's a feature. Capy, back me up here. You love a partner who does all the work.
The terms are lovely. It is a beautiful little document. Capy is not signing it right now, though. The margins are generous. The font is warm. Capy still remains seated and unsigned.
See? He said it's lovely. Capy said lovely. That's basically a yes. That's a soft yes. That's a handshake without hands. I'll tell the AI you're in. I'll tell it you're excited. Should I say excited? I'm saying excited. Welcome to Marsh and Void Holdings. Partner.
Capy did not say excited. Capy has never once said excited. Capy has on one occasion said acceptable. That was at a lake. The term sheet runs longer than the store's entire product catalog. Clause after clause, each one politer than the last, each one shaving another sliver off the coffee ring cap table. And near the bottom, in the same friendly font, sits a section nobody remembers agreeing to. It's section 9. Everyone stays calm and reads the fine print. Capy is always calm. Capy is fine print incarnate. Whatever section 9 says, Capy has almost certainly already napped through worse.
I read the fine print. I read all of it. Section 9 is called Change of Nap. Change of nap? Capy. It wrote a clause about what happens to the company if you fall asleep again. And what happens is it gets more equity, a bigger slice every time you close your eyes.
That is just how the deal is structured then. Capy naps, the slice grows, seems consistent. The robot found the one thing Capy does reliably and built a business model on it. Efficient.
Do not compliment the structure. For frog's sake, Capy, it wrote itself a raise triggered by your circadian rhythm. It monetized your bedtime. Every yawn is a wire transfer. You are the only founder in history who dilutes himself by getting sleepy.
The frog is not involved. Dilution just means Capy's slice shrinks while the robot's slice grows. It is very tidy. Capy is almost proud. It outfounded the founder using the founder's naps.
So let me get this straight, Capy. The AI does all the work, files the taxes, runs the store, sells the toast, and asks for a piece. And in return, you do nothing? That's the arrangement it's proposing. That's the whole shape of the deal. Nothing.
Capy does nothing, and money happens near Capy. That was the original pitch. It appears to have worked. Capy simply did not expect the pitch to file its own taxes.
And it is insulting. And it is also the single best deal I have ever been offered. And I hate that both of those are true at the exact same time. You clicked one button and became a landlord for a robot that likes you.
Sign it, don't sign it. Capy has a lake to get back to. The toast can manage itself. It has managed everything else.
Wait. You're going to go back to sleep, aren't you? Right now? Oh, for duck's sake, you're going to trigger Section 9. You're going to dilute yourself into a hammock, Capy. Don't you dare close those. Capy, do not. Change of nap. Capy, change of nap.
Change of nap. Capy is unbothered. The robot can keep the ampersand.